Hey guys, we got the White Sox, the Athletics here today. So Philadelphia trying to stay in first place. They're a game up on Cleveland, and slowly the Naps are getting up there. Slowly the Tigers are getting up there. The question is whether the White Sox are going to get up there like they did in real life or not. Patsy Doherty leads this off, rolls a 46 for a 29. Comebacker to Eddie Plank, who throws to first. One gone. Fielder Jones now. Plank is 3-3 with a 2.12 ERA. Jones rolls a 43 for a 29. Comebacker to Plank on to first. Two gone. Here's Jiggs Donahue. He rolls a 61 for a 13 and strikes out. We go to the bottom of the first. It's going to be Topsy Hartzell here for the Athletics. Topsy's hitting 253, but that 357 on base percentage helps his cause a little bit. And he rolls, a 45 for a 14 and goes on to first. Now we're going to have him hit and run. Here's Oldring coming up. Runner on at first. Rolls a 22 for an 8. That's a single to right. Runner goes to third, and here come the Athletics. Here's Eddie Collins now. Nobody out. Bottom of the first. Runners on the corners against Frank Owen, who's 2-3 this season. The roll's a 15 for a 10. That's going to be a single that will score one. The other runner is thrown out. Oldring's thrown out a third, and Collins will go to second on the throw. It's a 1-0 score for the Athletics, and here is Danny Murphy. Danny rolls a 33 for a 0. Here now is the second roll. And it's a 45 for a 6. That'll be a double to left center field. That'll score the runner. It's 2-0 for the Athletics, and here comes Harry Davis. So much for the White Sox getting into this. Davis rolls a 43 for a 29. It's a ground ball to first base, and Donahue has that. Flips over to Owen covering at the bag. 2 away. Here's Jimmy Collins now. Runner on a third. Rolls a 25 for a 9, fly ball center field, and Jones takes that in, and we go to the top of the second. 2-0 Athletics, and here is George Davis to lead this off for the White Sox. Davis rolls a 54 for a 45. There's a little E roll. It's a 63 out of the range, so it's a fly ball over to Danny Murphy in right field for the out, 1 away. Jake Atz now is the batter. He rolls a 13 for a 14, and he'll take his base on the walk. Runner on at first, 1 out top of the second, and it's Ed Hahn. Ed rolls a 25 for an 8. That's a ground ball third base, and it's going to be Jimmy Collins who makes that play, throws to first, and Atz moves up to second. 2 away, and here's Billy Sullivan. And Sullivan rolls a 44 for an 8. That's going to be a comebacker over to Plank, who throws to first for the out, and we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Athletics. Here's Simon Nichols. Simon rolls a 44 for an 8. That's a single, and then he's caught trying to steal. 1 away. Here's Mike Powers. He rolls a 33 for an 8. No little C there, and that's the base hit. And that'll bring up Eddie Plank, of course. And he's going to bunt, of course. The roll is a 53 for a 21. That's a bunt over to Owen, who runs down the line and tags out Plank. Powers goes to second. There's 2 away, and here is Topsy Hartzell. Topsy rolls a 12 for a 24. There's a little E roll. It's a 23, which is in the range. It's changed to an 18. That's going to be an error on Atz, the shortstop, so he is eaten up by that ground ball. Hartzell's on base again, and here's Rube Oldring. He rolls a 14 for a 43. Fly ball over to left field. Doherty has that. We go to the top of the third inning. 2-0 still Athletics, and Tannehill rolls a 13 for a 39. That's going to be a strike. His next roll is a 12 for a 24. Here is the little E roll. It's a 34 out of the range. Ground ball to shortstop, and Nichols has that on to first for the out. There's 1 away. Here now is Frank Owen. Owen rolls a 14 for a 43, and the little E roll will be a 33. It's a fly ball left field, and Hartzell's there for the out, 2 away. Here now is Patsy Doherty. He rolls a 63 for a 31, fly ball to center. Oldring has that one, and we go to the bottom of the third. It'll be Eddie Collins here for the Athletics. 2-0 the lead. Collins rolls a 52 for a 27, ground ball third base, and Tannehill has that on to first, 1 away. Danny Murphy now, 282, Danny is. Rolls a 32 for a 26, ground ball to second, and Davis has it on to first, 2 away. Harry Davis has come up here, and he rolls a 21 for a 30. A fly ball to left field. Doherty has that one, and we go to the top of the fourth. It will be Fielder Jones for the Hitless Wonders. He's hitting 267, and he rolls a 25 for a 10, and there is the first hit of the game for the White Sox. Here now is Jiggs Donahue, who's hitting only 232, and man, that average dumps off pretty quickly in this lineup. Donahue rolls a 14 for a 43, fly ball to left field, and Hartzell has that 1 away, and here's George Davis, 214 for Davis, and he's hitting 4th. His roll is a 44 for an 8, is a ground ball to the left side, and Jimmy Collins has it, throws to first for the out, and Jones goes to second. 2 gone, and here's Jake Atz, who's hitting a whopping 159. He rolls a 51 for a 14. That'll be a walk by Plank, a rare one, only his 4th this season. So runners on first and second. Here's Ed Hahn. Ed rolls a 64 for a 13, and he will strike out. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still 2-0 Athletics, and it'll be Jimmy Collins here for Philadelphia. to lead this off. Collins rolls a 33 for a 7 as a single to right, and that's going to bring up Simon Nichols. Runner on at first base. We know already Collins not particularly fast. Nichols rolls a 62 for a 12. There is a little E, otherwise this is likely to be a double play, I believe. Rolls a 22 for an error. It's going to change to a 19. That'll be an error on the third baseman, Tannehill. So he had a ball that he could handle, and he ends up booting it, and there's runners on first and second. That'll bring up Mike Powers, and Powers is going to bunt. He rolls a 44 for an 8. It's a good bunt back to Owen, who has to throw over to Davis covering at first base. There's runners now on second and third, and up comes Eddie Plank. Plank today is 0 for 0. He had a bunt last time, hitting .214 this season. Eddie rolls a 42 for a 13 and strikes out, so there's 2 away. Now it's Topsy Hartzell, still runners on second and third. Hartzell rolls a 13 for a 14. He'll take his base, and that'll bring up Rube Oldring. Pretty realistic, I would say. Here comes Rube, hitting .307, 17 RBIs, kind of a mainstay of the Athletics so far. And look at that, he rolls a 55 for an 8. That's going to be a single, and that will score 2. And then Oldring is caught trying to steal second with Eddie Collins up there, and we go to the top of the 5th. It's a 4-0 lead, however, now for Philadelphia, and here comes Billy Sullivan. Sullivan rolls a 25 for a 9. That's going to be a single, and then he's caught trying to steal. 1 away. Here's Lee Tannehill. Lee rolls a 12 for a 24. Here's the little Lee roll, and it's a 44 out of the range. Ground ball to shortstop. Nichols has that, throws to first. 2 gone, sorry. Here's Frank Owen. He rolls a 23 for a 32. Fly ball to right. Danny Murphy's got that for the out. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 4-0 Athletics still. Eddie Collins comes up. He's 1 for 2 today. Drove in a run and scored 1. He rolls a 13 for a 14. Will take his base. That is walk number 3 given up by Frank Owen. 16 on the season. Danny Murphy now. He rolls a 24 for a 13 for a strikeout. 1 away, and here's Harry Davis. Harry rolls a 53 for a 19, changed to an 18. That's going to be an error on the shortstop and that's error number 3 given up by the White Sox, and that puts runners on the corners here for Jimmy Collins. Collins is 1 for 2, of course, and scored a run. He rolls a 55 for an 8. That's going to be a fly ball center field, and Jones has that for the out, and a run scores. It's 5-0. You know, Simon Nichols, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. His rolls a 16 for a 28, ground ball shortstop, and Atz has that, throws to first this time as he makes the play this time, and we go to the top of the 6th. 5-0 still Athletics, and here is Doherty. He rolls a 51 for an 11. That's a single to the left field. Doherty then will steal second, and that will bring up fielder Jones. So the White Sox trying to make it happen. Jones rolls a 25, not a 225, a 25 for a 10. That's a ground ball over to Collins, the third baseman, who throws to first. Doherty moves up to third. 1 away, and here's Donahue. Donahue rolls a 52 for a 27. Another ground ball over to Collins, but he holds Doherty at third this time. 2 away, and here's George Davis. Davis rolls a 15 for an 11. That's a single, and that'll score the run, and Davis then is able to steal second with Jake Atz up there. It's a 5-1 game. Atz now rolls a 51 for a 14 and walks. So Eddie Plank kind of going through a hard time here top of the 6th. 5-1, 2 on, 2 out. Ed Hahn comes up, rolls a 55 for an 8. That's a ground ball over to the left side. Collins has that, throws to first for the out. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-1 Athletics. Mike Powers leads this off, rolls a 15 for a 9. That's a pop-up left side, and Tannehill has that for the out, 1 away. Eddie Plank now rolls a 22 for an 8. That's a single to left center. Plank now 1 for 2 today, and that'll bring up Topsy Hartzell, who's 0 for 1 but has been on all 3 times. Imagine that kind of day. Hartzell rolls a 35 for a 14 and walks again, his 3rd walk of the ball game, and that'll bring up Rube Oldring. Runners on at first and second. 5-1 lead, no need to bunt. Rube rolls a 42 for a 32, fly ball right field, and it'll be Hahn for the catch. 2 away. Here's Eddie Collins. Eddie rolls a 45 for a 14, and Frank Owen is having some problems out there. 5 walks in this game so far. Here now is Danny Murphy with the bases loaded. And Danny rolls a 46 for a 29. That's a comebacker back to Owen, who throws to first for the out, and we go to the top of the 7th. 5-1's the score, and here comes Billy Sullivan. Rolls a 24 for a 13. It's a strikeout. There's 1 away. Lee Tannehill now rolls a 51 for a 9. That'll be a single over short, and so the White Sox get another one on. That's a 5th hit for the White Sox. Here comes Frank Owen, who's going to bunt. Rolls a 14 for a 43. There is a little E-roll. It's a 12, so the bunt ends up turning into an error. That's an error on Plank, and that will put runners on first and second. And that might be the opening the White Sox need. That's the first error of the game here on the Athletics. 5-1, though, runners on first and second for the White Sox, and Doherty rolls a 35 for a 14. That'll be a ball. His next roll is a 43 for a 29. So it's a comeback over to Plank, who throws to first for the out. The runners move up, however, and here comes fielder Jones. Jones is hitting 272. He's 1 for 3 today. We'll just pitch to him, and his roll is a 63 for a 31. It's a fly ball to Oldring in center field, and that does it. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Harry Davis leads this off for Philadelphia. Davis, 0 for 3 today, rolls a 32 for a 26. Ground ball over to the other Davis. For the White Sox, the second baseman throws to first, 1 away. Here's Jimmy Collins. Collins rolls a 12 for a 24. And the little lead rolls a 45 out of the range. It's another ground ball, this time to Atz, who throws to first. 2 gone. And here's Simon Nichols. Simon rolls a 62 for a 12. It's a ground ball over to the first baseman, Donahue, who goes to the bag himself. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. It's a 5-1 game still, and here is Jiggs Donahue. He rolls a 53 for a 20, changed to 15. It's a fly ball to left field, and Doherty has that easily, 1 away. George Davis now rolls a 36 for a 33. It's a pop-up over to the second baseman, Eddie Collins, 2 away. Here is Jake Atz. He rolls a 34 for a 44. There's a little E roll on this. It's a 56 out of the range. It's a fly ball over to center field. Oldring has that one, and we go quickly to the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-1 still the lead for Philadelphia. Here comes Mike Powers, and Powers rolls a 66 for a 0. How about that? His next roll is a 64 for a 6, and that'll be a double, and that brings up Eddie Plank. So runner on at second here for Plank. Nobody out, bottom of the 8th, and Eddie rolls a 56 for a 34. It's a big pop-up over to Davis, the second baseman, for the first out, 1 away. Topsy Hartzell now, and he rolls a 44 for an 8. That's a single, and that will not score the runner. Powers is slow, and he's thrown out of the plate. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Hartzell goes to second on the throw, and here is Rube Oldring. And he rolls a 55 for an 8. That is a single, and that will score the runner. And then Oldring is thrown out trying to steal in the with the next hitter up there. And so we advance to the top of the 9th inning after all of that fun. It'll be Ed Hahn, Sullivan, and then Tannehill, and then maybe a pinch hitter. Hahn rolls a 52 for a 27. Ground ball to the left side. Jimmy Collins throws to first, 1 away. Billy Sullivan now rolls a 62 for a 12, and there's a little E roll here. It's a 24, just missing the range. That's a ground ball over to first base. Davis has it and steps in the bag himself. There's 2 away. Here now is Lee Tannehill, who rolls a 42 for a 13 and strikes out, and that's all she wrote there. So the Athletics win this one 6-1. Pretty easy win for the Athletics as they go to 17-10 and maintain their stranglehold on first place here in the 1908 American League. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.